This week, I'm bringing you Kirill Kanaev's MALCOM stage demo. If you haven't seen the interview I've done with him, check it out up here. And of course, all the other MALCOM demos are also in the playlist up there. And in case you haven't noticed, we just hit 1K subscribers on this channel. In celebration of this milestone, I'm giving away a free miniature STL that's part of my Feathers and Steel series. It's the Kitsune that's part of my Kunoichi miniature, but now I'm offering it up as a free STL for you to download and print for yourself. So I'm grateful and thankful for all your support. So please make sure to catch all the videos that I have posted, and there's a lot more content coming up. See you in all the other videos.
Okay, hello everybody, my name is Kirill Kanaev. Today I want to show you how to make your figure spectacular. You know, the most interesting technique, it looks very bright, it might be something very colorful, it might be something really special like fantasy or sci-fi, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, it has some physics in the basic. And all that we're doing, it's about the light, the shadow. But today I want to show you the most spectacular way how you can paint it with the bright reflective surfaces. So it's nothing new, because many years ago, many centuries ago, people already start to paint it onto the canvas. Everybody saw the canvas in museum. So it's absolutely the same. You may paint something that looks like reflective surface, like the, I don't know, the glaze, the polished metal or ceramic, or everything that have the reflections. So we can apply the same technique onto our model, but have one difficult part that we need to know. Canvas.
Just your mic a little bit not very clear. Try again.
Okay.
Is it better?
Better?
Okay.
So, but have one most important difference between of the canvas and between our model. Because the canvas we may see only from one point of view. How the artist makes the picture, he's sitting here looking for this direction and apply everything that we see just from one direction, from the one point of view. He applied onto the canvas. Therefore, when you go to a museum, you can see the canvas from the different angles, but anyway, you will see something that looks like material objects, reflective surfaces, because he puts the color spots on the right position, and these color spots working together and give you illusion that you see the 3D object in some reflection of the light source of any way, it doesn't matter. It's illusion that works on the flat surface. But our task as a miniature painters to make same illusion onto the 3D object. We must to see it not from the one point of view. It's not like flat Nuremberg miniature. It's a 3D object that we may see on 360 degrees, and from top and from below. Anyway, we must to make something in 3D. And how you can make it? Because it's just physically impossible. So most important moment, it's physically impossible to make absolutely correct reflection from 35 degrees, 36 degrees. So because it's depends on the view from which you see your model. So if you see it from this point, you're painting some kind of reflection here, here, and here. But when you're turning it, reflection must be changed. But it's not changing because it's painted. On the real metal surface, all reflection will be wider or smaller, it will be distorted, and when you will turn the model, it also will turn dynamically. It will change dynamically, because it's real. When you paint it, it will not change it, because it's like press it. So our task make illusion that looking good from several points of view, and the rest may be not so good, but it's also okay. Then you can see your model from all the angles, and your brain will not see the mistakes. or if it will be some mistakes, it will be blurred. So, firstly, when you try to figure out how to paint the non-metallic metal, because the metal, it's reflective surfaces, it reflects mostly the light sources like the lamps, or like the sun, or like torch, or like the clothes. Firstly, you need to figure out you're painting the reflection of the light sources. Second, you're painting reflection of the some objects from around, from environment, from landscapes. But most important is to paint especially light sources. So, how it works? When you see your model, you need to decide which point of view will be main for your model. It depends on geometry of your model, because the bust is simple, but if your model has some different pose like this, you need to decide which view must be more interesting for observer, which point of view give you the most interesting reflections, maybe, I don't know, reflection of the ground on the bottom of the figure, reflection of the sky on the helmet. Anyway, you just need to decide before. But anyway, you need to choose which main view will be most spectacular. It will be something like the canvas. So I think for the bust will be enough fourth point of view. Frontal, two sides, and the rear view. So four view will be enough because the geometry is simple. If you have another kind of figure, for example, here the surcoat of the armor, then it means that part of the metal is covered behind the non-reflective objects, and it means you don't need to think about how to paint the most spectacular view from this point. For example, if there's a cape that covers half of the figure, then you need to think only about the frontal view, how your figure will be visible among the part of the cape. So you need to think only about the frontal view. He have no cape, so it means you can see it very well from the all view, and you need to decide. So I can tell you the fourth main view will be enough. So then you need to figure out and think about your model like about several 2D objects, not like about 3D object, but like the set of 2D objects. It's like the four canvas or four photography combined together onto the box, and when you rotate in the box, you see the beautiful view on each side. When you turn it on this point, on 45 degree, you see simple blurred or maybe not much of the bright details, but anyway you see some bright reflections here and here. It's here on the 45 degree, you see that something maybe not very corrected, but it will be blurred. So anyway, I show it later on the practice. So firstly, you need to figure out how your figure might be look in 2D. Here, possible to use, for example, the simplest way is to use a cell phone. You making the photography of your figure, making it in 2D. So looking on it, that's okay. Then you have something like the plain image onto your cell phone. And then you can easy to figure out how to show on this plain view something from this way, something from this direction, because you don't see the rest of the figure. You see only one view, and it's like the picture. You can print it, or you can use Photoshop for drive in Photoshop, but anyway you will see something on the plain surface. For the brain, it's much easy to figure out all kind of reflection because you see only one point of view. So you can paint any kind of light sources that visible from this point of view, any elements from around the figure. It might be the trees or the castle or anything that you can imagine. So from this point of view, you will have beautiful picture. When you will decide what will be here, you will turn in for this, again making the photography, again thinking about reflection, then this, and this. You will have the four flat images, and you will work with them separately. It doesn't matter what you want to show there. It might be something interesting, I mean the colors. It might be blue sky, or it might be red carpet. Anyway, is it making the bright light spots and illusion of reflection. But anyway, most important is to transform your 3D into several 2D objects. Then you can apply them. Then it will be much easier for you to figure out how applied to the one point of view. Okay, so most important, as I say, is to figure out where is light source. Then it will have influence on the rest of the model because it also has shades, highlights, midtones. Anyway, first we need to figure out where is the light source. It's not so important about the rest of the imaginable landscape for the figure that is not reflective. For example, just a flat uniform, like a Feldgrau or hockey, it doesn't matter. You just need to figure out where is light source. But main difference between the flat surfaces and the reflective surfaces, some kind like the polished armor, it reflects everything from around. And its reflections make the color spots that have the really strong influence onto the color range that we will use for your figure. For example, it have green forest from this side. It means this green forest is big and will be reflected here, and most of the reflections from the side of the view will be green. It means from this point of view, your figure looks mostly greenish. On the other side, you may have the castle made of the brown-yellow stone, something like the tourmaline, for example. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you will have the huge yellow-brown wall on this position. And it means that everything on this side of the bust will reflection of this wall, and also main gamma from this point of view will be brown. From behind, he may have, I don't know, something like the big gates, and you will see some sky through these gates. It means that we'll have something like the dark frame, the silhouette of the frames here, and the center of the figure might be blue or light gray in color of the sky. Over the head, he may have the clear sky, the sky in zenith always looking more bluish than the rest of the sky. I mean, the sky in zenith will have the deep blue color like this, for example. And it means that from this point of view, all reflection will have the bluish color. So you need to figure out what you may see around the figure. What is your decision? You may choose something like the simple technique just for show reflectivity. For example, if you remember old medieval or Renaissance era or Baroque canvas, where the people standing in the room, they looks like they wore the completely black armor with bright white spots. That's because artist who painting the canvas, sitting in the room, he has a window like the light source, and reflection of these windows is a big white spot that makes sense that it's something shiny. The rest of the armor black because outside around in the room was dark. It may have the dark walls anyway, so around the figure it's dark walls. Then all the figures looks very dark, but especially this big white spot makes the sense that it's something shiny and reflective because you see reflection of the light spot. You can use this technique, doesn't matter. Something more traditional, maybe stereotypical, it's a sky-earth NMM. SENNM. When you see the blue sky, when you see the ground and the line, the horizon, you know, everybody knows this style of making of the chrome-like object. It might be something like the orb with the line of the horizon, dark line of the horizon. Less down to the horizon, it will have the reflection of the ground with the brown or sand color. On the top, you will have something like the blue spot. Anyway, it's some traditional technique how you can make something like the chrome. It's very popular, but needs some kind of special vision for applied on such difficult object like this one. But you may find something like the good reference, some photography. from the real world, some reenactor. I always use a photography of the reenactors from the real world in the in complete full plate armor for making a good combination of the colors. Because from the real you can catch a lot of the small details, and the small details make your work real, authentical. Because our brain always try to simplify everything. Brain, for example, it can transform everything to the sky or of non-metallics, but it's too boring. So you can find the good photography of the reenactor, and you can catch the color spots from there. It might be reflection of the brown ground with some green grass, make combination of the brown and green spots onto the surface. But it will have very complex shapes. And you just can put the photography and apply some spots, grab the outlines of the spots onto your model. Then you can find almost equal armor from another view and apply some details from this view onto your model. Anyway, you always need the real references, because without it, it doesn't work. Without it, it will look too simple, too shiny. If you're a skilled artist, if you have a lot of practice, or if you have a professional educated artist, you already know how to do it, because during the education you already was learning how to do it. But we are hobbyists, and we have same way like the artist, but we going by the very curved line. Artists going straightly because somebody can explain them how to do it. So we doing absolutely the same, but we do it from the different position. We can start to paint the tank, for example, then we can go to the miniatures, and anyway we taking during our practice, we taking some parts from the classical art, but we just don't think about it. We do it just automatically. For example, we need to paint some shadow onto the tank. Black and white appreciating. What is it? It's nothing more than the shadows and highlights. When you painting on the drawing with the paper or with the pencil on the paper, something like the poop, you're making absolutely the same. You're making something like the white and black reshading, but you do it with the pencil. Your paper is white, your pencil is black, and you're making something like we do it onto the armor when doing some reshading onto the flat surfaces. Absolutely the same. This is how it's work. When students making something like the setup and painting something shiny, like the, I don't know, the teapot made of the copper or gloss bottle. They do absolutely the same. They painting some color spots and try to make illusion something bright and shiny. We're doing absolutely the same, but we're doing it not on the paper, not on the canvas, but onto the model that is more complex shade. So, how to do it on practice? As I said, firstly, you need to decide about the environment, what might be visible around of your model. I suggest you, for the first time, make something not very complex, but always need to know about the simplest rule. What make your model shiny? It's a combination of brighter spots and darker spots. For example, we can take something really shiny, like the drone, like this. Into reflection, we see reflection of the light source, like the brightest spots. It's pure white. Also, we see some additional bright spots, like the lamp from around, but have lesser brightness. And we have reflection of all the people in the room, all the wall in the room. We see it like some spots. But first we need to figure out that all of this reflection have the contrast. Then higher the contrast, then bigger the difference between the brightest spots and the darker spots, then more shiny illusion we have. For example, we can compare it with something like the not so bright metal, but something like the dull metal, like the matte aluminium. Matte aluminium will not have dark spots. It only will contain some white spots and gray, but not black. So when you try to paint chrome, better to use most contrasting colors, from white to pure black. Between you may have light gray, light blue, green, dark brown, red, doesn't matter. But anyway, it will be very wide range, from the pure white to the pure black. When you paint something like the unpolished steel or matte aluminum, you need to know you cannot use dark color. It will be only pure white, light gray, medium gray, and that's all. No black, no dark brown, nothing. Only a brighter color, because this surface not so reflective. It can reflect the light, but not so much like compared with chrome. Chrome can reflect everything. Therefore, in most bright surfaces like chrome, polished gold, polished silver, you may see a lot of colors, and black and white and something between. So it's about the contrast. Next, what you need to know about reflectivity of some kind of surfaces like metal. Because I will paint the metal, I firstly need to tell about the metal. So, polished surfaces can reflect any color from around, but it depends on the color of the material. For example, why you see so much of colors in chrome? Because its own color is close to the white or light gray, then nothing colors will be changed. But something like the gold have own color, and therefore all reflection will be turned to the color of the gold. I mean, for example, here you may see all colors like they are in real life from around, like a mirror. It may be pure blue, pure red, pure green, doesn't matter. You will see in chrome all the colors as is. But in yellow, all these colors will be turned to the color of material. Gold is yellow-brown, for example. And all reflections also will be a bit turned to the side of the spectrum. It means that will not have the pure blue. It will be blue mixed with orange, so it will be more, not so pure. It will be close to the brownish color of gray, but not pure blue. The same about green. Green will be more yellowish because material turning this color a little, and in result we will have not as is in real life. The color will be turned to the yellow part of the spectrum. What about the steel? Steel is gray. Color of the natural steel is something like this, the neutral gray, for example. And it means that all the colors of reflections will be also a little turned to this dark gray. It will be not so shiny. For example, a reflection of the light source will be pure white, but if you will see something like the bright blue surface, it will be not so bright, it will be a bit darker, because dark gray will mix it with the color of the blue, and result reflection will be darker, not so bright. The same about red, it will be not so pure, it will be less saturated and a bit darker, because the color of the material, especially the metal, has an influence onto the color of reflections that you may see in this. So, then higher the level of polishing of the material, then more and more color you will see. Then lesser the quality of polishing, then lesser quantity and then lesser saturation you will see. For example, aluminum, matte aluminum, you will not see their pure colors. Everything will be whitened. Because aluminum is close to the white or light gray, all the colors such red or blue or violet, doesn't matter. It will be very, very desaturated. It will be something like the dull pink or dull light blue. Doesn't matter, it will be not pure colors, but some combination of the gray. And most important to know also, if you want to show something polished, you need to paint something like the sharp reflections. In chrome, you see everything like in the mirror. It means that all reflections have the sharp outlines, like in mirror. It's not blurred. In the matte surface, all outlines will be blurred. Everything will be like visible through the mist. It will be blurred. Anyway, it makes your some kind of possibility to avoid incorrection. Very difficult to paint completely bright polished chrome because you cannot hide something that you must hide. What it means? When you have reflection, for example, the tree, from this point of view, you can paint it very well. It looks like perfect imagination of the tree. But from this point of view, when you turn it in, the reflection still too sharp, still too porous, but your brain knows from this point of view, this tree must look different. It must be pressed. But anyway, it's not pressed here because it's painted. So illusion doesn't work well. So how you can hide it? Make this tree not so sharp. So I suggest you not to use completely polished materials for imitation of the for metals, because it's too difficult to hide some flares. Better to use something like the medium condition of material. If it's polished still, not polished to the mirror-like surface. It's polished just for you see, just to make you possibility to see reflections and some color spots, but not sharp. Because when you will turn it, you will not see, especially the tree with all the branches and the leaves. You will see only some blurred spot, semi-blurred spot. Anyway, when you turn it, your brain will not see incorrection. Your brain will think that it's, yeah, that's okay. Maybe it's tree, but maybe not. But anyway, yeah, it looks like tree, so that's okay. Then your illusion will work well. Then it will work well from all the points of view. And, for example, you try to paint something like the house. You see reflection of the house with the brown windows, doors. Anyway, it's something very well ordered. And it's even worse than painting of the trees, because when you will see the reflection of the well-ordered stripes and squares, you always see something like the scale, the coordinate scale. And it's like the orienteer, like the sign for your brain, how it must be. When you see it from this point of view, yeah, I see that's okay. But from this point of view, all the scale working completely incorrect, and it's like mark. Looks, it's not working. It's not working, and especially it's not working here. It's like the big letters that sign it. It's not working. So don't use the squares. Don't use something rhythmical, a combination of the elements with some order. Not use I don't know, the fences. Not use the tent with the stripes. Please don't use geometry. Use something ambient. It might be, for example, the mountains, the trees, something like the stone, but with no well-organized structure, without any kind of scales, without any kind of square elements, something ambient. Then your illusion will work well, maybe not very spectacular, but anyway, it will work well from any point of view. So, how to paint it? Because, as I said, it must be some imagination about the environment. So, firstly, need to figure out what it must be. I just painted with markers because, yeah, I will do the fast sketching, and I try to make something that I can do fast for check, do my illusion work or not. Most important things that you need to know about the brightness and non-metallic metal. You need something bright. Without the bright, your illusion will not work. So, firstly, I need to figure out, I need something bright from this point. It might be a reflection of the, I don't know, the sun. Okay, the simplest way is the sun. So, I need to paint the sun like the brightest white spot. I recognize how 3D form I see. I know the helmet is the orb, the ball. The rest of the helmet is like a cone. Here also a combination of the cylinders. So have just 4 geometrical forms, simple geometrical form, and you need to know how reflection will be turned onto this form. Onto the ball, it will look like mostly like the circle. Onto the cylinder, it will look like the stripe. Onto the cone, reflection will be visible like the triangle. Onto the flat surface, it depends on the curveness of the flat surface, but mostly it will be reflection of the light source or anything without any kind of distortion. So I need to decide. from this point of view, I must have something like the bright spot on the center. Just need to activate it. No, it's not working. Yeah, let's try again. No, it's dry, sorry. Okay, try something another. Oh yes, this one is working. So, bright spot somewhere here. I just need to recognize how every surface, every small surface can reflect the light. This is most difficult part because needs a practice and some kind of artistic vision. But anyway, if you do it well, the illusion starts to work. Here no need some kind of accuracy, no need precision, because everything will work well just because it's a right combination of the colors on the right spots. So our demo is very short, it's just 1 hour, therefore I cannot explain everything completely, but I need to show you something really important. Okay, so I need to figure out, do my work, do my painting works already or not. So I think with these white spots already start to appear illusion of glossiness. Okay, something like this. So, bright spots already make sense that it's something shiny. Without white spots, it doesn't look shiny. So, I think for the first time it's okay. So then, as I said, you need a contrast, because without the darkest spots, your surface will not look just a little bit polished. It will look something like completely matte material. And I need to find another color that will be darker. Okay, gunmetal. Let's try to try it. Let's try it. I'm afraid it's too new. Okay, let's try another marker. Real color also good. Yeah, rubber black, why not? Okay, so I need to paint something dark, like it might be a line of the horizon, for example. So I need to imagine where it might be onto these surfaces. A line of the horizon. So most important here is exactly combination of the dark and bright spots. So I think it's already close to be looks like metal. Okay, so when some illusions start to appear, you need to figure out how it looks on the flat image. I try to put it to the good position, and then the flat view like this. I need to remove all the on shadow to make it so flat as possible. Then I need to light on it from this point. So now you can make the decision, do it already works or not. Maybe not to add some details. It may be something brighter spots or darker spots. Anyway, you need to figure out your model in this flat image. Then you can figure out what to do next. Because, for example, you can compare it with the photography. You can find the good references, compare, and you need to figure out what's wrong. So, on my taste, it's already starts to be a little shiny. Because, you know, even with the simple water paints, with simple bright spots and dark spots, you can make illusion of something shiny onto the paper. It will work even with just a simple pencil. Here is the same. Just need to figure out is it work well or not. But anyway, on my taste, it's already very close because I see reflection of the light source. So it's working well for this point of view. But what to do with the outer views? Because if you decide to use sun, like the main light source, it's just impossible to have two suns or three suns. It's only one sun. But anyway, you need something bright to make it shiny. It might be not sun. It might be something that also can reflect the light and be like equal light source. It might be big white cloud. Or it might be a big white wall, for example, doesn't matter. It just might be something bright. And you can look to your model from this point of view and repeating the same operations from this point of view. For example, I need to paint something bright here. As I said, it's already not sun, it's just a big white cloud. Onto the ball, you can paint the white spots, yeah, and continue the slide here, a little more here, a little here, and on the shoulder. Okay, so I think it's okay. From this point of view, I also have the bright spots, but remember, it's already not sun, it's already big white cloud. The same work with this point of view. I also need to find some white source or white spots. It may be, as I said, white wall, for example, why not? Remember, your metal, it's not mirror-like polished, it's a bit shaky. Therefore, all reflections will be also blurred, and you cannot figure out that it's some wall or some cloud. You need something bright, you don't have sharp reflections, and you again paint some bright spots. Here, maybe here, and here. Okay, so it's already looks good. The same for this point of view. Also, white spot here. We can continue it here. Just need to figure out how this reflection might be distorted, depend on the surface. Do you see the visor of the helmet? It's not flat, it's like the part of the cylinder, but with some curves. It means that the line will not look like this. It will look like something curved, like this. With this curvedness, you can show outlines of the visor, its form. Again here. So now it has the reflection of light source. The same with the darker color. Also, you need to figure out where will be visible the line of the horizon. Here it's impossible to see because its reflection of the sky, line of the horizon, will not be visible from this point of view. It may be visible only somewhere here on the trim of the helmet, but not here. The same about color. It might be visible here on the trim, but not there. Here I see a line of the horizon might be lower somewhere here, but we have no part of the bust, so we will not paint it. And the same about this angle, line of the horizon. Okay, so this is the most darkest element. If you want to make your model more interesting, you just need to add some additional not so bright and not so dark spots. I just try to find the right color here in the deck. Off-white, not too bright. Is it? Okay, let's try. Oh, yeah, it's gray. Too bright. So just need to find something not so bright. Oh yeah, that's okay. For example, you need to add reflection of the blue sky. Then you can imagine your blue sky in zenith, most bluish color on the top. Then you need to figure out which surface can reflect this sky. It's the top of the helmet, top of the shoulder, but not of this part of the helmet, not this part of the helmet, only this. So I can use the blue color. Yeah. To paint it here. On these ribs, it may be distorted. You may see something like the small pieces, depend on the position of the rib, like this. Here. You can add a little more blue here, a little more here. So anyway, the helmet looking more detailed with additional color. The same with the back side of the helmet. I think depend on the angle, this part of the helmet, turn it to the light, turn it to the sky on 180 degrees. So I think here might be also a reflection of the blue sky, here and here, and on the shoulder. And probably here too. So the helmet already have more colors. But need to remember that some elements of the armor can be reflected one each other. For example, onto the collar here, you may see reflection of the bottom part of the helmet. And it means that here we will see the silhouette of the bottom part of the helmet, like dark, completely dark spot. It will be reflection of the inner side of the helmet where I have no light. Therefore, they completely black shadow, and we can paint the silhouette of the helmet here. And this element with the sharp tip also can be visible like triangle, but not so sharp, because it turn it to another angle. From this point of view, it reflected like more soft, rounded triangle. So here the reflection of the element, this one of the helmet. The same about the visor. Visor also block some some light from around, and it will be visible like reflection by this way. This is it. Inside of the visor, we will have the shadow firstly, and if it's polished well, we can see reflection of the ground. Okay, I try to find the color for the ground. What about this one? Oh yeah, green. So we can imagine something like the green grass. So it will be visible from the bottom, where we can see the bottom. Definitely not here, because it's turned to the sky. It's just few surfaces that turn it to the ground. I think, from my point of view, it's only something like these elements, some ribs, only lower part of the ribs. Here on this angle and here, and nothing more. But something like the grass that's visible from the distance, it will be also greenish, but not so pure green like the something that's visible very close. Also need to figure out how far objects is visible to the mirror, into the mirror, because then far it is, then blurred, the more blurred it is. And it's the same for the colors. Closest objects will be visible like the pure condition, like the purest color. Something from the distance will be visible like blurred and more grayish, because color will be blurred, distorted by the color of material. So I try to find another green. If I have, no, it's even more bright. Okay, let's have more. So I need to find the color that is not so bright. Brown. Yeah, brown also good. So possible to add some reflection of the, I don't know, the sand or the ground earth. Oh yeah, it's also too bright, but it doesn't matter. You can paint some reflections here. It will be reflection of the distant sand, for example. Anyway, we're adding some elements here. Try to mix it with another color. Now this works. So anyway, you can combine it with something darker and brighter spots, not so dark, not so bright, and it will work together. Okay, let's try to find another color. So when you figure out what's on the ground, you can add some additional colors, like the more yellowish green, for example. Anyway, you need to make some spots for fulfill this area, not keep it gray, to fulfill it with some additional colors. Так, what is it? Oh, darker green. No, it's metallic. This also aluminium. I don't need to flat back. Okay. Flat white also. Oh, good also. So you need to make some additional spots, and with the spots you will make illusion of reflection. It might be really rough spots, for example. But anyway, they will work together. So this way you can completely cover your area. Maybe I can try something like the light gray. Yeah. Okay, what is it? Focus. Oh yeah, yeah. Also, you can fulfill this area with some not so dark blue and make an illusion of cloudy sky. Cloudy sky here, and here it's a more clear surface. So anyway, your model will be painted more detailed by the color spots. Light gray. Okay. Yeah, already looks like metal. So, just because I use available markers, I use not very correct colors, but anyway, combination of the light source, of the some kind of spots, make your illusion of some shiny. Again, repeat most important thing. Firstly, you need to have brighter spots. Without the brighter spots, your illusion not working. Better if it will be pure white. I never use the pure white when I paint the flat surfaces. Even if it's a completely white dress, I use another color like the ivory, like the light gray, or like greenish, mint green, but never pure white. Pure white I always reserve for something shiny. It might be metal or it might be glossy surface such as ice. Onto the ice I also paint smallest white reflection of the light source. I use the pure white. So remember, always reserve the pure white for something really bright. Another most important thing that you need to know about it, you always need to have something dark, because without the dark elements, without the dark spots, your illusion also will not work. So if you need the polished surface, you need to have the pure white, and you need something really dark. It might be black or dark brown. Anyway, remember, you need to have something really dark. Without it, your contrast also will be not enough to make your model shiny. So the third main rule, you always need to have some additional colors. Without additional colors, your metal doesn't look interesting. It will be just gray, because I saw many times people use something like the blue-gray for make the wall color of the armor. It's too dull. You can use something that you see from around. Even if you put the dull gray ball into this room, you will see not only gray, you will see a lot of brown, you will see a lot of dark blue. Anyway, you will see a lot of additional colors, but remember, never use the purest color. For example, maybe this pure light blue, it's too saturated for the armor, for the steel armor. Always mix it with something like gray. So you need not pure light blue, you need grayish blue. The same about the green. You need not the purest green like this green. You need something more military green like this one. This green will be better for the reflection onto the steel. The same about the yellow. Not use pure yellow. Even if it's pure yellow like this, make it closer to the sand. Then your reflection will be more authentical. Anyway, don't use pure color. So this way you can receive exactly reflection like onto the steel. Into the chrome like this, or into the mirror you have the purest color. But onto the steel everything will be more grayish. This is another rule. So also please avoid the written. You don't need written onto the non-metal. You always need ambience. You always need some more complex shapes. Not the straight lines, not the squares, not the geometry. Only shapes. Then your illusion will work well from all point of view. Not only from one, but from all point of view. This is fourth rule. So, and if your idea makes something authentical, you need to add something like the small flares. For example, later you can use some color for paint some scratches. I just try to do it very quick because we're already out of time. So I can show how to make it quick. I have acrylic paints. This is the final stage when you work almost complete, when you already make your reflection, you're already sure that your illusion works. It may look too perfect, because real armor, it's never mirror-like. It always has some dents, always has some scratches, cracks, doesn't matter. It's always not perfect. For avoid the perfection, you need to add some little flaws. And on the stage, you can use something like the really tiny brush, most thin brush. I prefer something like the 2.0, so try to find one. No, this one. Yeah, like this one. And you can paint something like the really, really tiny scratches onto this. Right over your completely painted work, you can paint something like that. Yeah, okay. Something like tiny scratches. Like this. Yeah, really, really tiny scratches. Can you show it, please? Yeah, something like this. But you need to make it around the brightest spots. Because what is the scratches? If you want to paint something like the deep dents, like the trace of the strike of the sword, it might be really big. But this one, it's something like the exactly scratches, like the traces of the polished materials, or like the some sand. Anyway, it must be very, very thin. So it's very, really thin line over the elements that also reflects the light. It's smallest difference of the relief around some brightest spots. So always remember, you need to paint only around the brightest spots, not everywhere, but only around the brightest spots. Yeah? Yeah. So by this way, you can show especially this element like something more natural, because even in some bright area like this, very well polished, it has a micro surface like made of this scratches, and especially the scratches make the authenticity. So your illusion may work well, but some additional elements make it even better. So I think that's all. Yeah, because time is done.
What are you waiting for? Slap the shit out of that button.